We have a very special guest on the show today. This is a pleasure and an honor as always. She has been on this show before, and we always love hearing what she has to say. This is Evangelist as well as Dr. Alveda King. Welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm glad to be back and I'm doing well. Thank you.
Awesome. So, of course, we have Martin Luther King Day as well coming up, and just talk a little bit about your experiences growing up in that family. It's always, I love being able to have these conversations with you because for so many of us, and for those of us on the interview as well, we're so young, so we missed a lot of that. So just kind of take us back to what the experience was like, in seeing the movement.
Well, young people, I'm 70 years old and my 70th birthday is January 22nd, a few days from now, but I count the 9 months in my mother's womb. So I've been 70 for about 9 months before now. And my granddaddy in 1950, and I've told you this before, my mom was pregnant with me and she was enrolled in Spelman College. And whether you were married or single, you could not be in college and be pregnant at that time. And so she wanted to finish college. She didn't want to have a baby. She didn't want to go to a back alley or anything like that with a coat hanger. She wanted to just go to her doctor and get a DNC. So my granddaddy told her, he says, no, you can't do that because I saw her. She's a little girl. I saw her in a dream 3 years ago. She has bright skin and bright red hair, and she's going to bless many people. So my mother agreed, and she and Dad got married and had 5 of us. So I was born into the civil rights movement because at that same time, now this was before Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, my granddaddy, Martin Luther King Sr., had been marching with Black men carrying the signs, I am a man. That's Daddy King. Mm-hmm. And so he was a freedom fighter too. And so then I was born. Mom and Daddy had 5 kids. Uncle ML, that's Martin Luther King Jr. married Coretta Scott King, and they had 4 children. Later, their sister got married in the 60s and had some children. So, but Rosa Parks, the back of the bus, not taking the seat, and all of that. So we started on the civil rights movement of the 20th century there, mid-20s, 20th century. And back then, the difference, and I've told you all before about this too, we did really demonstrate and protest peacefully. But believe it or not, we had outside agitators, even in those days, who would come to our towns. And when we are demonstrating peacefully, they would come in and started throwing bricks and rocks, get everybody agitated, upset, and violence would erupt. Now, the reason we were more successful than we are today, we were trained in nonviolent conflict, engagement, and resolution. And so we went by the rules. We read the Bible. We showed up dressed like we were going to church or something like that, marched together, sang hymns together while we demonstrated and peacefully demonstrated. So we lost all of that in the 21st century. We just started taking the knee without praying, cussing people out, all those kind of things, which do not give you a peaceful engagement. So what's missing today, to just be very honest with you, it's not in politics, it's not in the courts, in the legal systems. Here we are thinking we are separate races. We are one human race, Acts 17:26, of one blood God made all people to live together on the face of the earth. We're all the same race. We're the human race. Different skin colors, yeah. Different body types, yeah. But that's ethnicity, every nation, tongue, and tribe. That's not the human race. Martin Luther King said, we must learn to live together as brothers. I'll add as sisters, or perish together as fools. He didn't say cousins. He didn't say neighbors. He didn't say friends. He said brothers and sisters. We are one human race. So that's what I just want people to remember Monday. And do take a day on, not a day off. Even if you just pray for somebody, do something kind for somebody, that kind of thing. Make sure you do that on Monday, please.
Absolutely. Robin, I know you have a question. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So my question is like, I know a lot of people know a lot about Martin Luther King as what he has done with the movement, and but what was it like behind the closed doors, like growing up with him or around him? How was he as a person?
He was always the same. What you saw out in public, that's what you saw at home too. And so that's how he was. And people, you hear all the rumors, he did this and did that, went to wild parties, cheated on his wife and that kind of thing. I will say that my uncle, my daddy, and my granddaddy were human beings, just men. And the women were just women. I'm a woman, but now everything I did is public because I tell it. I don't let anybody else tell my business. I tell it. So that way you don't get to blackmail me. Okay. But everything you saw, and even when he did things that were not right, he had this conscience and he would cry and be sad and want God to forgive him. And he was really very serious. That's how he really was.
Absolutely. So you touched on earlier about the movement then and contrasting to the things that are going on today, and we see so much strife and division in our country right now. What can people do? What can we do to try to bridge that gap, to try to bring people together instead of people continuing to be divided?
Each of us can determine in ourselves, within our own hearts, just not to be a part of it. And people say things to me and send bad curse words and curse me out and do all that. And I usually will say, I said, I hear you and I love you. Well, I'm not wanting to talk about love. So I just won't do it. And during the holidays, and it wasn't the greatest thing, but we had drive-by. My whole family, the family of A.D. King, we are great cooks. I've got a new show on Fox Nation where I'm cooking and having conversations and stuff. So I cooked and had to-go plates, and people did drive-by to pick up meals. And we had 3 or 4 people in the house at one time. So somebody was in the house trying to say stuff. I said, I thought I told y'all, don't come in my house talking like that. I'm not doing that. And I just refuse. And we can just decide what to engage in and what not to engage in as individuals. And then you can begin to encourage others to do the same. And if you do that, because today, and thank you for giving me a few more minutes.
Absolutely.
Somebody was reading a story to me today, one of my adult children. And as a young man, a rapper or something, and part of his trademark or his brand was that he had a grill in his mouth with all these gold teeth and things, right? So for some reason, and I believe it's because of the Spirit of the Lord is moving in the earth. That's what I personally believe. He took that grill out and got his teeth fixed and came, and he smiled just with normal everyday teeth. And his mother said, I got my son back. Thank you, Jesus.
Wow.
So when I see things like that, and I hear all the bad things too, I hear it, I really do, and they disturb me, so I pray. But you overcome evil with good. So when somebody does something bad to me, on purpose, I make sure I go and do 3 good things for somebody.
Wow. We're talking with Dr. Alveda King. I know we only got a couple of minutes left. Dante, you have a question. Go ahead, sir.
So, Ms. King, is there a certain pressure, or have you felt a certain pressure to carry on the legacy of the King name and then also the mission as you were the next generation, especially after he passed away tragically?
There is no pressure in my life because I am who I am. I was born for this. So there's absolutely no pressure. I don't run from it. When I was younger, I did. I wanted to do many other things, and I did run. But the things that I ran away to do, it's the funny thing. When I agreed to do things God's way, today I'm doing all the things I used to want to do.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So last question for me as we close. Your family has made such an incredible sacrifice for all of us, and everybody. I mean, you have dealt with public shots and stuff like that as well, and people saying stuff to you. How have you and your family been able to stay so strong with making so many sacrifices for the freedom of other people?
There's a scripture, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. We are very close to God and we pray. Even when we don't agree on so many things, even in my own family, we still pray. And we agree to love each other. And as we love each other, we carry that love in us and we carry it to the world. And each person can do that. And there's a saying, shine your light, that little song, this little light of mine. So everybody says, well, why would you sing about a little light? But imagine, each of us has a little or an individual light. But the more of us who join together with light by light by light by light, you can really light up a whole lot of darkness when you come together and share your light. So that's what we do in my family. And it's a joy to do that, and it's a joy to serve.
Wow. Wow. Let everybody know how to see the new TV show. I believe you're on social media. Let them know how to follow you on social media and all that good stuff.
Alveda C. King on Twitter, Alveda King on IG and Facebook, alvedaking.com for books and movies and all the things that I do, and Civil Rights for the Unborn.org for pro-life.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. You always speak to our spirit when you come on. I definitely appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. God bless. Good night.
God bless.